Hello everyone. So, in this module we will study lubrication theory. It is well known that two solid bodies can slide over one another easily when there is a thin film of fluid sandwiched between them. The analysis of fluid flow in thin layer is known as lubrication theory. One such example is the motion of fluid flow in thin layer in bearing of a shaft. Lubrication theory is the major disciplines where the starting point is creeping flow approximation. So, what is creeping flow? The creeping flow is the flow where the Reynolds number based on a suitable linear dimension is very small. That means, Reynolds number will be much less than 1. So, before going to study this lubrication theory, first let us derive the governing equation for creeping flow and we will study the Stokes flow past a sphere. So, you know these are the governing equations in Cartesian coordinate for laminar incompressible fluid flow with constant fluid properties. So, this is the continuity equation, this is the x component momentum equation, this is the y component momentum equation and this is the z component momentum equation. So, the basic assumption of creeping flow developed by Stokes is that density associated terms are negligible in the momentum equation. So, we will use this governing equation and we will use the suitable non-dimensional parameters, and for very small Reynolds number we will simplify the governing equations. In this case the pressure will be non-dimensionalized using the viscous force, not the inertia force, because it is a very slow motion flow. So, these are the dimensionless parameter we will use, where L is the characteristic length and U is the characteristic velocity. So, x star is equal to x by L, y star is equal to y by L, z star is equal to z by L, t star is equal to t by L by U, and the velocities are non-dimensionalized using the characteristic velocity U, and the pressure will non-dimensionalize it using the viscous force mu u by L. So, you can see that flows at low Reynolds number are called creeping flow, and if you use this dimensionless parameter, then we can write this non-dimensional equation. So, these are the continuity equation, this is the x momentum equation. So, you can see in the left hand term this Reynolds number will appear. So, this term is multiplied with the Reynolds number. So, in y and z momentum equations also you will find that a Reynolds number is multiplied with the left hand side terms. So, obviously you can see that if it is a very slow motion flow where Reynolds number is very small. So, if Reynolds number tends to 0, then obviously you can drop these terms in the left hand side. So, in the limit of Reynolds number tends to 0, the creeping flow equations becomes the linear equations, because left hand side terms become 0. So, this is the non-dimensional equations, continuity equation, and this is the dimensional form of the continuity equation. This is the x component momentum equation dropping the left hand side terms. This is the y and z component momentum equations, and in the right hand side we have written the corresponding dimensional equations. So, you can see here we have dropped the inertia terms. So, now consider the creeping flow over a sphere. So, in this case we will assume laminar, Newtonian and incompressible fluid flow with constant properties and negligible inertia terms. So, whatever equations we have derived, obviously you can see that we can write it as grad P is equal to mu grad square B, where B is the velocity vector. So, in this particular case you can see that we have the incompressible flow. So, we have continuity equation, divergence of V is equal to 0, and now if you take the gradient in this equation, then you can write divergence of grad P is equal to mu grad square divergence of V, okay, and divergence of V is equal to 0. So, this term will become 0, that means you will get grad square P is equal to 0. And if you take curl of this equation, then we can write curl of grad P is equal to mu grad square curl of this velocity vector. So, in this particular case you can see curl of a gradient of a scalar. So, this will become 0. So, in right hand side you can write mu grad square, and curl of velocity vector is nothing but the vorticity vector. Okay. So, now you can see that from here we can write divergence of V is equal to 0, grad square P is equal to 0, and grad square omega is equal to 0. So, if you use one component of this vorticity vector, then we can write omega is equal to minus grad square psi. So, this is the in terms of stream function, psi is the stream function. So, we can write omega is equal to minus grad square psi. So, if you write it and if you put it in this equation, then we will get grad to the power 4 psi is equal to 0. Okay. So, which is the biharmonic equation, and psi is the stream function. So, in this particular case we are considering flow over a sphere of radius r, and you can see that if we consider the spherical coordinate, then obviously r is measured along the radius and theta is measured from here. So, obviously V r is the radial velocity and V theta is the tangential velocity, and obviously we will be assuming a axisymmetric flow. So, in this case you can see in the phi direction it is axisymmetric. So, in this particular case obviously your theta will vary between 0 and pi, and phi will vary between 0 to 2 pi. Okay, and it is axisymmetric flow. So, for this case now this nabla square, which is your, we can write as nabla square psi is equal to 0. In this case nabla square will write in spherical coordinate. Okay. So, in Cartesian coordinate it is easy, but in nabla square or which is your Laplacian operator, so this will write in spherical coordinate. Now, if you consider the spherical coordinate and we are considering flow over a sphere, then you know how to write the radial velocity V r and tangential velocity V theta in terms of the stream function. So, considering the axisymmetric flow, we can write radial velocity V r as minus 1 by r square sin theta del psi by del theta, where psi is the stream function. Okay, and V theta is 1 by r sin theta del psi by del r. In this case the Laplacian operator in spherical coordinate we will write as del 2 by del r square plus sin theta by r square del of del theta 1 by sin theta del of del theta. Okay. So, now let us write the boundary conditions. So, what are the boundary conditions? So, obviously you can see on the surface of the sphere at r is equal to r, V r and V theta will be 0. So, in this case you can see from here you can write del psi by del theta is equal to del psi by del r will be 0. Okay. And you can see that del psi by del theta is equal to 0, that means psi does not change in the along the surface. So, you can say that psi is equal to constant on the surface of sphere. Okay. As del psi by del theta is equal to 0, psi is constant on the surface of sphere. So, obviously you can choose any value of psi on the sphere. So, for convenience let us choose psi is equal to 0 on the sphere. Okay. So, psi is equal to 0 and far away from the sphere. So, where r tends to infinity, obviously you will have the free stream velocity u. So, you can write, so here v infinity theta is equal to u I. So, now if you write in terms of the spherical coordinate, so you can write v r e r, these are the unit normal in r direction, v theta e theta is equal to u. So, this I, this unit normal I is the unit vector in the x direction. So, obviously you can write in spherical coordinate as cos theta e r minus sin theta e theta. So, obviously now you can write that V r is equal to u cos theta. So, del psi by del theta you can write as V r is this one. So, del psi by del theta you can write as minus u r square sin theta cos theta, and similarly V theta you can write as minus u sin theta. So, V theta is equal to minus u sin theta, and in terms of psi you can write as del psi by del r is equal to minus u r sin square theta. So, now we know the gradient of this stream function as r tends to infinity. So, first let us find what is the psi at r tends to infinity. So, we know del psi by del r is equal to minus u r sin square theta. Okay. So, integrating you will get psi is equal to minus u r square by 2 sin square theta plus some function which is function of theta. Okay. And now, if you take the derivative with respect to theta, then we can write del psi by del theta is equal to minus u r square by 2 sin theta cos theta plus dg by d theta. Okay. So, and already we have found that del psi by del theta in last slide, if you see that del psi by del theta we have written minus u r square sin theta cos theta. So, minus u r square sin theta cos theta. So, you can see from these two expressions that dg by d theta must be 0. Okay. So, that means g is equal to some constant. Okay. So, obviously you can see that you can write psi at r tends to infinity theta is equal to minus u r square by 2 sin square theta plus some constant c 1. So, this is the stream function at r tends to infinity. So, obviously you can see that we can assume that the stream function in the fluid domain, it will be as function of r, f r and sin square theta. So, you can write that the solution will be function of r and theta, and the above condition suggests the solution in the form. So, if you separate the variables, then you can see that it will be function of r and sin square theta, right. So, we can seek the solution psi, which is function of r and theta, as f r, okay, and sin square theta, because you can see this is the expression of psi as r tends to infinity. So, it will be function of r and sin square theta. So, we are seeking the solution using separation of variables method as psi r theta is equal to f r, which is the function of r, which is we need to find out, and sin square theta. So, now we know the biharmonic equation for this stream function. So, nabla square, this is the Laplacian operator, nabla square psi is equal to 0. Okay. So, now you can see that this Laplacian operator in spherical coordinate already we have written. So, you can write Laplacian operator, this we can write del 2 by del r square plus sin theta by r square del of del theta 1 by sin theta del of del theta. Okay. So, now we can see that we can write this Laplacian operator psi. So, this we can write psi is equal to 0. Okay. So, now psi we know that psi is equal to, we have assumed as f r sin square theta. So, obviously, we can write del 2 psi by del r square as d 2 f by dr square sin square theta, and del psi by del theta is f r 2 sin theta cos theta. So, now if you put it here, so we can write d 2 f by dr square sin square theta plus sin theta by r square del of del theta. So, it will be 1 by sin theta, and del psi by del theta is 2 sin theta cos theta f is equal to 0. So, obviously, this sin theta will get cancelled, and if you write del theta of cos theta, so it will be minus sin theta. So, you can write d 2 f by dr square minus, so it will be minus sin theta. So, that sin square theta if you take outside, then you can write d 2 f by dr square 2 by r square f, you can write sin square theta is equal to 0. Okay. So, now next this nabla square you put. Okay. So, you can see that you can write now del 2 by del r square plus sin theta by r square del of del theta 1 by sin theta del of del theta of this quantity, right, d 2 f by dr square minus 2 by r square f sin square theta is equal to 0. Okay. So, carefully you just do this simplification. So, you can see that this you can write as So, this is not function of, so this is the function of r. So, obviously you can write, so this first we will write del of del r and del of del r of d2f by dr square minus 2 by r square f sin square theta. Okay. And next this will write sin theta by r square del of del theta. So, 1 by sin theta and del of del theta of d2f by dr square minus 2 by r square f sin square theta is equal to 0. Okay. So, you can see if you simplify this one, so we will get del of del r. So, first one you will get d cube f by dr cube minus 2 by r square df by dr plus 4 by r cube f. Okay. And here you will get, say you can take this outside d2f by dr square minus 2 by r square f, because it is not function of theta. So, you will get sin theta by r square del of del theta 1 by sin theta. So, del of del theta 2 sin square theta, you will get 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 0. So, this sin theta will get cancelled. Again, if you take the derivative with respect to r, so here 1 sin square theta will be there. So, now you can write sin square theta. So, d 4 f by dr 4 plus, now here you can see it will be 4 by r cube df by dr minus 2 by r square d2f by dr square, right, because there are 1 by r square and df by dr. So, 2 times we have used it. So, then you will get minus 12 by r to the power 4 f. So, next you can see that del of del r 4 by r cube f. So, one term we have written as minus 12 by r to the power 4 f and another term will remain 4 by r cube df by dr. And in this term you can see that it will be del theta of cos theta. So, that means it will be minus sin theta and this will be sin square theta. So, sin square theta let us take outside, then you will get inside 2 by r square into this. So, you can write minus 2 by r square d2f by dr square and plus 4 r to the power 4 f is equal to 0. So, obviously, sin square theta not is equal to 0. So, this term if you simplify you will get d4f by dr4. So, you can see here this d2f by dr square, this is also d2f by dr square. So, we will get minus 4 by r square d2f by dr square and the term associated with df by dr. So, this one, so it will be 8 by r cube df by dr and this will be plus 4 by r to the power 4 f and here minus 12 r to the power 4 f. So, we will get minus 8 by r to the power 4 f is equal to 0. So, you can see that this equation is homogeneous in R and is known as to have the solution in the form f r is equal to r to the power lambda. So, you can see that if you put it here, so you will get, if you put and simplify it, obviously you can see df by dr will be just r to the power lambda, df by dr you will get lambda r to the power lambda minus 1 d2f by dr square you will get lambda lambda minus 1 r to the power lambda minus 2, and d4 f by dr4 you will get lambda into lambda minus 1 lambda minus 2 lambda minus 3 r to the power lambda minus 4. So, if you put it here and if you simplify, you will get lambda minus 1 lambda minus 2 lambda minus 4 lambda plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. So, obviously, you can see that lambda will be minus 1, 1, 2 and 4. So, now we can write the effort as a function of r as f, which is function of r as a by r plus b r plus c r square plus d r to the power 4. Now, we need to find this constant a b c d and we have the boundary conditions. So, first let us write the stream function psi. So, psi we have written as effort sin square theta. So, we can write psi as a by r plus b r plus c r square plus d r to the power 4 sin square theta. Okay. So, now let us write the boundary condition in terms of psi. So, we know that V r is equal to minus 1 by r square sin theta del psi by del theta. So, we can write minus 2 by r square a by r plus b r plus c r square plus d r to the power 4 cos theta. Okay, because del psi by del theta it will be 2 sin theta cos theta, and this sin theta will get cancelled and you will get this expression. Similarly, you can write v theta as 1 by r sin theta del psi by del r. So, we can write 1 by r minus a by r square plus b plus twice c r plus 4 d r cube into sin theta. Okay. So, we have already written the boundary conditions, right. At r is equal to r, v r v theta is equal to 0, and at r tends to infinity v r is equal to minus u cos theta and v theta is equal to u sin theta. So, we know that there are 4 unknowns and we have 4 boundary conditions. Okay, invoking these boundary condition, find the value of a, b, c, d. So, if you find it, you will get a as 1 by 4 u r cube, b is equal to minus 3 by 4 u r, c is equal to half u and d is equal to 0. Okay. So, you can write the stream function psi as function of r theta as minus u r square by 4 2 r by r square minus 3 r by r plus r by r, and corresponding v r you can write as u cos theta by 2 minus, here sin square theta will be there, 2 minus 3 r by r plus r by r cube, and v theta as minus u sin theta by 4 minus 3 r by r minus r by r cube. Okay. So, we have found the velocities v r v theta for the creeping flow over a sphere. So, let us plot the streamline. You can see that flow over the streamlines flow over a sphere. So, obviously, you can see that streamlines and velocities are entirely independent of fluid viscosity, and the streamlines possess perfect forward and aft symmetry, okay, and there is no wake behind this sphere. Okay. So, this is known as Stokes Propaste sphere. Okay. So, this is a creeping flow around a sphere where Reynolds number is very very small. So, when we consider the fluid flow over a sphere, we need to know the drag force acting on the body in the direction of the fluid flow. So, in this particular case you can see that the pressure will act normal to this surface in this direction, and this is the shear stress tau r theta will act. So, we need to find what is P and what is the shear stress, and the component, if this is the theta, then obviously in the negative direction of this flow will be P cos theta, and the tau r theta component in the opposite direction of the flow will be tau r theta sin theta. So, we know that grad P will be just mu grad square V, and V in the spherical coordinate we have V r and V theta. So, in this case you can find from this expression invoking the Laplacian operator in spherical coordinate and the velocity components V r and V theta, here you can find del P by del r is equal to 3 mu r u cos theta by r cube, and similarly del P by del theta you can find 3 by 2 mu r u sin theta by r square. Okay, so, any one of this you integrate and find the pressure distribution P, which is function of r and theta, as P infinity minus 3 by 2 mu r u cos theta by r square, where P infinity is the pressure at infinity. Okay. So, far away from the sphere you have the free stream pressure as P infinity. So, obviously on the sphere we have P r theta is equal to P infinity minus, so it will be r square. So, you will get 3 by 2 mu u by r cos theta. Okay. So, this is the pressure distribution on the sphere. So, what is the now drag force acting on this? So, first let us find what is tau r theta. So, tau r theta, which is the viscous shear stress, that is mu r del of del r. In spherical coordinate we are writing 1 by r del V r by del theta. Okay. So, we know V theta here, you simplify it. So, you will get tau r theta as minus 3 by 2 mu u r cube by r to the power 4 sin theta. So, obviously on the sphere tau r theta at r is equal to r, you will get minus 3 by 2 mu u by r sin theta. So, obviously due to this normal pressure and the viscous shear stress, this sphere will experience one drag force in the direction of the flow. So, that we need to find. So, for this we will consider one elemental area. So, on the spherical surface. Okay. So, this is the theta. So, obviously if this is the angle theta, then this distance will be just, if r is the radius of the sphere, then it will be r sin theta, and d theta is the small elemental angle d theta. So, this is the d theta. So, obviously this will be r d theta. Okay. So, this will be r d theta. So, if you consider this surface as ds, so what will be ds? So, you can see that ds will be, so you can see that this is your r sin theta, right. So, this will be twice pi r sin theta, okay, twice pi r sin theta. So, this is the periphery here and into r d theta. So, that is the surface area ds, where we have shown here. So, ds will be twice pi r sin theta into this length r d theta. Okay. So, now we know that p cos theta is acting in the negative flow direction, and also tau r theta is also acting tau r theta sin theta in the negative flow direction. So, we can now integrate over this surface where theta will vary from 0 to pi. Okay. Then whole surface will cover, because it is axisymmetric, that is why you have taken in this way. So, now first let us consider the drag due to the pressure, which is known as form drag or pressure drag. So, we will calculate the form drag or pressure drag. So, what we will do? So, this is your A p is equal to, so we have to integrate this minus p cos theta over the surface ds. Okay. And ds we have already calculated, right. So, you can put that it will be minus integral 0 to pi p, we have already calculated p infinity minus 3 by 2 mu u by r cos theta, and ds is twice pi r sin theta into r d theta. Okay. So, if you integrate it, this f p will get as twice pi r mu u, and similarly viscous drag f b, if you calculate, so it will be minus integral tau r theta sin theta ds. Okay. So, now if you put it, this tau r theta at r is equal to r. So, you will get minus, this r is equal to r, on the surface we are integrating. So, minus 0 to pi. So, you will get minus 3 by 2 mu u by r sin theta, okay, into sin theta, here on cos theta will be there, cos theta, and we will have ds. So, ds will be twice pi r sin theta into r d theta. Okay. So, you integrate it, finally, you will get this as 4 pi r mu u. So, total drag force in the direction of flow we will get F as F p plus F b. Okay. So, it will be twice pi r mu u plus 4 pi r mu u. So, you will get F is equal to 6 pi r mu u. Okay. So, this is known as Stokes law of force. Okay. So, you can see that 1/3 of the total force is your coming from pressure drag, and 2/3 of the total force is coming from the viscous drag. So, now let us see how the pressure varies over the surface. So, theta we are taking from here, and theta is varying from 0 to pi, and we know the distribution, the pressure distribution on the sphere surface. If you write p r theta minus p infinity divided by mu u by r. So, this we can write as minus 1.5 cos theta. Okay. So, you can see at theta is equal to 0, that means at this point what will be the pressure. So, cos theta 0 is 1. So, it will be minus 1.5, and at theta is equal to pi. So, cos pi is minus 1. So, it will be 1.5. So, you can see that pressure, obviously you can see over the surface it will vary from 1.5 to minus 1.5. Okay. And the y axis is just p minus p infinity divided by mu u by r. which is the non-dimensional pressure distribution, and this is the axial direction x. So, the pressure varies like this. So, in today's class we have started with the lubrication theory. As a starting point, we are discuss about the creeping flow, and for this purpose we have considered the Stokes flow past a sphere, which is the example of this creeping flow. And for this particular case, we have simplified the governing equation when we have the very slow motion, that means Reynolds number tends to 0, and we have dropped the inertia terms from the Navier-Stokes equations, and from there we have written the equation in terms of psi, which is the stream function. We considered creeping flow past a sphere. In this case, we have used the Laplacian operator in spherical coordinate, and from there we have found the stream function distribution for this flow over a sphere, and from there we have calculated the pressure distribution. Then we calculated the pressure drag and the viscous drag. So, pressure drag is coming from the normal pressure, and it is 1/3 of the total force is coming from this pressure drag, and 2/3 of the total drag is coming from the viscous drag. Thank you.